So there's a common misconception in the world that if you have a lot of money, then your problems will just go away. And I think that this is because most people just they don't have money. So they're kind of imagining, oh, if I just had $1 million, then all of my problems would go away and I would feel so great. It's not true. If you have deep rooted psychological issues, if you have trauma from your childhood, if you have a weak body, none of these things go away without work. Uh, you need to put in the work. And that's something that I'm trying to come to grips with because I, I've still been very depressed. I mean, the last like 6 months, even when in some areas I'm doing well, like my business is succeeding, Bitcoin is going parabolic, the whole world's talking about crypto. I mean, it's very cool. I really enjoy it. But that doesn't change the fact that I have a lot of unresolved issues that I need to work through, things that I experience that I still need to process. So I just recently have decided that I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to make the changes necessary to become the best version of myself, or at least try to become the best version. And that requires me to go through a lot of change, and it requires me to be comfortable with chaos, and then to make order of that chaos. And I mean, I've been reading this really great book. I've been contacting different mentors and coaches, and I've been trying to get the information that I need to make a change. This is a very good book right here. It's called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. And what's very interesting, this is about mature masculine archetypes. And it's something that I was just never taught. And I think it's something that a lot of men have never been taught in our current culture. In fact, if you just count on pop culture to give you your information, you might come to the wrong conclusion that men are just inherently evil, that we're monsters, and that masculinity is something that needs to be squelched. But what you realize is that it isn't masculinity that needs to be curtailed. It's boyhood. We have too many boys that don't become men, and I'm one of them. I'm a boy. I may appear to be a man on the outside, but on the inside I still feel like a boy, and I end up making irrational decisions, and I end up holding myself back and choosing to be coddled instead of standing up and fighting, and I'm done. I'm just done. And I am trying to pile on a bunch of different changes in my life all at once. I don't know if that's a good idea. I was reading this other book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and it essentially says that if you want to change your life, you should pick one habit, stick with it for 30 days, then pick another habit, and then kind of build from there. But I've never been one just to do things easily. I just want to make a shift, and I know that if I don't, that I'll just sink back into my old ways. And like I mentioned earlier, I mean, I've been going through some major depression because of unresolved childhood trauma. It's been very difficult to deal with, and I was dealing with it in all the wrong ways. I had become a workaholic, and I was just going to work all the time, and then try to ignore the issues. And when that reached a point where I couldn't do that, I was going to work all the time and then drink away the issues. When that didn't work, I was drinking and smoking. I was looking at porn. I was doing all these things to try to pacify myself, when in the end, that is the exact opposite of what I want. I want to come alive. I want to make a major difference in the world and in my life and in my community. And I want to build something that matters. And to do that, I need to become something different than I am now. That requires massive training. After reading through this book, I've come to the conclusion that I'm certainly more in contact with some of my masculine archetypes than others. I identify very fully with the magician and lover archetypes, where essentially I have always been interested in esoteric knowledge and interested in technology, and I'm constantly learning and constantly adapting in certain areas that require deep study. I'm a musician, so this is an area that is, and it came very naturally to me. But over time, I've realized it's an area that a lot of people would love to excel in, but they can't. It's very difficult for them to understand the nuance, and it's something that I just love, and it's come naturally. And same with the lover. Like, I just love the world, and I love people, and I just I love being in nature, and it just fills me with such joy and peace, and and sadness when I see people suffering and when I see what we've done to the world. I mean, I could just feel all of it, and I've always just been so connected to that. And then it seems like the archetypes that I do need to work on are the king and mostly the warrior. The king cares about his people and is a good steward of the land and wants to make a difference and is able to hold a pure masculine frame that lets other people have ease and be able to do the things that they want to do and inspires others. And that's something that I identify with, but I still need so much work on to be an effective king. But then this book really hit me in the face, is that when it comes to the warrior archetype, I'm sorely lacking. I don't identify as a warrior. I feel often that I'm a weakling, and I feel often that my body is not on par. And a lot of that has to do with I had a foot surgery 4 years ago that kind of got botched, and I've got pain in my feet. And it's a surgery that was to correct fallen arches. And that was something that when I was a kid, I was told, you have flat feet, you're going to have to wear orthotics forever. And I cried because I was a kid. I mean, I loved just running around and having fun. And when I was told that, I felt like it was over. And I've had to deal with that for years. And then 4 years ago, I was like, that's enough. I'm just going to get this surgery. Everything will be better. And it made things worse. So I've been dealing with that. And it seems like the warrior is very physical. And it's very aggressive. And it's the part of you that goes out in the world and it takes what it needs. And it makes tactical decisions and sticks with them regardless of feelings. And so I'm realizing that I may not feel good. My body may not feel good. But I still must do the things that I must do to thrive. And I'm going to do it. So this week, I actually just decided to hire a personal trainer. And I always thought, well, that was something that only like Hollywood celebrities and politicians and people got because they can afford it. And, it's something that I would never really have. But darn it, I decided I'm going to put down some money on some areas that matter. And it's not in the physical things. I could care less about the physical things. I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't need to have a private blimp, although someday I might have a Zeppelin, smoking blunts on blimps. But no, I don't need any of those things. Those physical things are fleeting. What I need is to have a core change, and I need to inhabit the masculine archetypes that might make me a true leader and might allow me to actually have the impact that I want to have. And that is far beyond the physical. But apparently with the warrior, I need to get grounded into my physical strength. That's what I'm going to do. So this morning, I got up before 6. I finished reading the book. I drank some tea and meditated for 20 minutes. And now I'm going to go over to the gym, meet with my trainer, and I'm going to start. This is my first day. And I've committed to training 3 times a week with my personal trainer, then at least once a week on my own or with my brother. So we'll see how it goes. And in the end, this channel is just about my journey, and it's about the things that I'm interested in. And it might be very random. I might post some silly skits. I might post some music videos. I might talk about cryptocurrency, technology, web design, graphic design, any of the things that I'm interested in that I've dove into. But above all else, I don't want to just talk. I want to go out there and I want to do things and I want to make a difference. So I'm going to start. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't frightened by the prospect of this commitment. But I'm going to harness my warrior, and since I know that it is a clear win from a tactical side, I will push forward and do it regardless of how I feel. So that's the plan. Anyway, peace. Gotta say, that whole experience kicked my ass. And in a sense, I kicked my own ass. And I'm gonna do it every day. Well, at least every other day. So I can rest for another good ass kicking. But you know, I'm glad I did it. Fucking glad I did it. I just gotta push myself every day, you know? I've never been regular about my fitness. I've never been a part of any sports or anything like that. I've always just kind of been a thinker. And it's brought me a long ways, but it won't take me to the finish line. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, day one of working out with a personal trainer. So cool. All right, going to work. There's that. So I guess I can do it. You know, I can get up an hour early, go to the gym, meet with my trainer, get a shower in, and then go to the office, and everything will work out. It's just going to be a change to my schedule, and you know what? I'll adapt and overcome. That's the plan. So, awesome.